Earlier this season, Adrian Wojnarowski said that it was unlikely that Julius Randle would remain on the Los Angeles Lakers after this season. And I think that would be for a few reasons. I mean, the Lakers front office have made it pretty obvious that they want to get maybe 2 max players in free agency this season. And that means you'd have to cut about as much salary as possible, which means someone like Randle, who's making $4 million right now and could potentially make more with a qualifying offer or with restricted free agency, that could hurt you in your max player chances, at least if you wanted to get 2. They might just have to settle for 1, which, by the way, is not that bad, Lakers. But then you also have to question just how good is Julius Randle? Is he worth committing to for a few seasons? Well, I think with Randle, defensively, he's definitely stepped up this season. He's been playing the center position a lot more for the Lakers. And his ability to switch onto perimeter players in pick and rolls, not only have a chance against them, but actually be damn good against them defensively, has been great. And I think that's a big reason why the Lakers are still a really good defensive team. They've had a couple of blowout losses, but they're currently 8th in defense. So, I mean, just being above league average for a team this young on defense, I'd say that's an accomplishment. We'll see if they can maintain that throughout the year, but yeah, I think Randle's been a big reason for that. And if you're looking at Randle as a guy who can be a really good defensive small ball center, I guess, and then on offense be a good finisher around the basket, that's a quality player, and that's someone who I think teams would pay a decent amount of money for. And I think if the Lakers were to give him the qualifying offer and make him a restricted free agent, then I think there is a chance that some other team could just throw, I don't know, 10, 11 million. And then if you're the Lakers, you go, do we really want to do that? Because he, I mean, in a vacuum, he might be worth it. But then you're talking about, well, how much money are we committing in salary, and then are we not able to go for the 2 max players? I mean, honestly, if I was the Lakers, my objective would be to try to get 1 max player and then use the rest of that money to either get another, like, damn good player in free agency and then re-sign some of my guys like KCP and Randle, but that doesn't seem to be the mindset that they're going with here. So if you're really committed to 2 max players, and Luol Deng's $18 million until 2020 cannot be moved, which good luck moving that thing unless you want to move a draft pick. And given how bad you are right now, I wouldn't want to move any picks. I mean, maybe Randle would have to be on the way out. The only other way I could see them really cutting salary with that dang contract. I mean, you could stretch him out, but even then, I mean, he's making $17, $18 million a year, so you're paying, I don't know, maybe $5, $6 million of dead salary for the next, like 9 to 11 seasons because he's making $55 million total? I mean, I don't even know what the buyout rules are in the NBA. Maybe you're not allowed to do that for that long, but like, I don't want just all that dead money on my books. So the only other thing you could potentially do is pair up Jordan Clarkson in a trade with Luol Deng. Now, their combined salaries takes you to about $28 million. So the team taking those 2 on would have to really like Jordan Clarkson and think that he's just a diamond in the rough. I mean, his super efficiency is starting to dwindle down from this season, and his playmaking is still whatever, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just really like him and they'd be willing to take on Deng's contract to take Clarkson. I don't know. But these are the type of questions you have to ask yourself if you're the Lakers when you really want to get, like, I don't know, Paul George and LeBron James in free agency, which, I mean, whether you believe that's actually going to happen or not, I don't know, but clearly the Lakers are going for that sort of a double max player sort of a thing here. So I think for the Lakers to not do something like that with Randle, it would have to be either salary comes off from somewhere else, or he just proves to be like this all-world NBA player as the season goes along. I mean, if his ball handling and playmaking just went to another level out of the pick and roll, then maybe. He has shown some good dribbling abilities, but I mean, the comparison that gets drawn with him all the time is Draymond Green. Like, do I think he's going to get to Draymond's level of averaging like 5+ assists a game? I mean, probably not at the age of 23. And it seems like unless he makes those sort of jumps, I don't know if the Lakers are going to go all in on trying to keep him, you know? Then we open up the idea of a trade, because I think if he really was available, I think a lot of teams would jump at that one. The one rumor I keep on seeing is the Knicks. Him and Porzingis together would be an interesting front court. I think there's a chance that it could struggle in terms of rebounding. It would depend on if Randle is a legit rebounder or not, because, I mean, in his first season, he did grab about 10 boards a game, and he's been on a decline ever since then. And it makes sense as to why, because he's been asked to do more perimeter-oriented things, like defend ball handlers on the perimeter and stuff, so it makes sense that he doesn't grab as many rebounds, but I don't know, is that still in him? Like, if he played center full-time for the Knicks, could he grab X amount of rebounds to warrant that being your starting front court? Because Porzingis already isn't that good of a rebounder, so that would be interesting. Also, could Randle just handle, 30-plus minutes a whole season at center? I would much rather have him do what Draymond does, which is start at power forward and then throughout the game go to the center position. But then I don't think Porzingis can handle center full-time either, so that would be an interesting thing. The defensive versatility that those two could have could be really, really something. And then offensively, Randle's ball handling ability, and then we all know what Porzingis is offensively. I think the question would just be, from a physical standpoint, strength and stamina, if they could handle it, you know? As far as any other teams, I haven't really seen any other rumors, to be honest with you. But I think a lot of teams would be open to trading for Randle, and it would need to be clear that the Lakers are not going to keep him, and that seems to be the trend that is developing here. I did mention earlier how they could pair up Clarkson and Luol Deng together. They could just pair up Randle with Luol Deng. I guess I should have said that instead. So yeah, wherever Randle goes, Luol Deng will probably be in the move as well, which would probably defer a few teams, you know. The Lakers might have to take some money back in that trade, or like a player back. You know, maybe you go from Deng's longer contract to taking on somebody on a shorter deal, make the money work, that sort of deal. You get it. Ultimately, if I was the Lakers, I already said what I would do. I would keep Julius Randle. I would sign him to, 10, 11 million or whatever. And I would just go for one max guy. But that's also me, who I don't typically believe in putting all of your eggs into free agency, because the chances of LeBron James and Chris Bosh going to your team like they did to the Miami Heat, that type of stuff doesn't happen very often, and I think the Lakers are going for that exact type of thing this year around. And I understand it's Magic Johnson, I understand it's the Lakers, but I don't like embracing the unknown. I like going with what I do have, and what I do have is a young team full of pretty good players, and I have a lot of cap space, so Randle might have to be on the way out. And I'll tell you this right now, whichever team ends up with Julius Randle, if this all happens, and they use him correctly, as in playing him at the center position and all that, I think they'll be pretty happy with what they got.